LaMelo Ball, Miles Bridges, Gordon Hayward, and Terry Rozier have led the Charlotte Hornets franchise for the last few years, and there have been more downs than ups. LaMelo Ball faced a lot of trouble staying healthy this year with continued ankle trouble. Miles Bridges missed the entire year after playing himself into a max contract last season, and the team got blown out in back-to-back play-in games in 2021 and 2022, and they missed it entirely this past season. Despite this team being bottom of the barrel for the past forever, I believe that they have shown that they do have potential with what they already have in place, and their newest lottery pick, Brandon Miller, can help them get to the next level. Historically, the Hornets have been one of the worst franchises in the NBA, and they are 33 and 39, 43 and 39, and 27 and 55 in the last 3 seasons. LaMelo Ball is one of the best young players in the NBA and the best player for the Charlotte Hornets. Coming into the league, people doubted how well his game could translate. He bounced around for a bit after high school, but when you have it, and you can find your way into the NBA. He struggled early, like many players do, but his natural and sometimes what looks like effortless feel for the game started to shine through. This was shown most with his passing, and he is the number one playmaker for this Hornets team. He is also a good three-point shooter, sitting at 37.7% for his career. LaMelo is a good player, but has great improvements to make as a rim finisher. As a 6'7 point guard and the main offensive generator of this team, a lack of a strong and threatening finishing ability definitely caps out this team's offense. He's still a good player and has been named an all-star, but if he can become a good and consistent finisher at the basket, his game will reach another level, as well as the team's offense. Another young player who is pivotal for this Hornets team's future is Miles Bridges. He has showcased improvement as a scorer and overall player, developing a more all-around game after being known really only for his dunks. He became a 20-point per game scorer in 2022, and this maturing of his game is big for Charlotte, giving them another young star on top of LaMelo and a good duo for the future. Bridges was unable to take yet another step in his game after missing the entire season due to legal troubles. Terry Rozier has been a part of the team since 2019 and is one of the main scorers. He has a good handle and can shake defenders, but he also makes a lot of his money from three, a lot of times being a go-to guy for the team in the clutch. Gordon Hayward is a great scorer for any team to have, and he is a guy you want with the ball in his hands, and he has shown that in 3 years with Charlotte. He's a good veteran for this team with some great young players, but he has a lot of issues staying on the court, only playing 44, 49, and 50 games in the last 3 seasons. These four have been the main four guys for the Hornets for the last few seasons, and they have had other important role players throughout the years, and things have been rough overall, consistently finding themselves near the bottom of the league, with their biggest issue probably being their defense. With all of this being said, in 2022, they had their best season in a while, and I believe they showed some potential that they may be able to build on. They were above 500 for the first time since 2016, just 4 games, but that's big for the Hornets. The team was 4th among the NBA in points per game, and 8th in offensive rating. One of the main reasons the team scored so many points per game was their pace, where they averaged the 5th most possessions per game. Young star LaMelo Ball is the player that most allowed this team to play fast. His tendency to get out and run, and him being one of the best passers in the NBA, helped this team to keep up the pace. Miles Bridges is one of the most athletic players in the NBA, and his 20 points per game plus his high-flying ability helped his team tremendously in the fast break. He also showed great reliability, playing 80 of 82 games this season. Charlotte was also 6th in three-point percentage and three-point attempts, with LaMelo Ball, Terry Rozier, Gordon Hayward, and Cody Martin all shooting above 37% from three. And they were also number 1 in assists per game, with 5 different players averaging 15 plus points per game. This season was the best for Charlotte in recent years, but while they scored a lot of points, they almost gave up just as many. Perimeter defense, paint defense, defense and transition, opponent second chance points, they were near the bottom of the league in all of these categories. Offense is of course why most watch the NBA, and it is stressed the most. But no matter how many points you score, even if it is the 4th most points in the league, you still have to play some defense, or else you will end up as a 10th seed. The Hornets have been 16th, 22nd, and 20th in defensive rating in the last 3 seasons, never even in the top half of the league. And this is one of many negatives that has held this team back from even being decent. Although this Hornets squad has been far from even a consistent playoff team for some time now, I believe the 2022 season acts as a glimmer of hope. The team has since lost Mason Plumlee, who helped the team move the ball and keep up the pace, but the core is still together. And I believe what they showed just a year ago can be a look into what their future could look like. This past season was a wash due to their two best players playing a combined 29 games, as well as their best perimeter defender and reliable 3-point shooter only playing 7. But I believe this team could once again reach this level of play. And this is where Brandon Miller comes into the picture as another piece that will help this team reach the next level. Brandon Miller out of Alabama was a top prospect in this year's NBA draft. He showcased his scoring ability at 6'9", as he averaged almost 19 points per game as the team's leading scorer, while shooting over 38% from 3 over 37 games. With other players like Victor Wembanyama and Scoot Henderson in this year's draft, people thought Miller was the obvious third pick, and people are still clowning Charlotte for picking him with the second pick. And although Miller's summer league was far from perfect, he had many moments that showed why the Hornets believed in him. To start the summer league, Miller was far too passive and didn't look for his shots enough, but he got more aggressive. And in the June 11th game versus Portland, he put up 26 points and he was not shy with shooting the ball. The scoring ability from Alabama showed up multiple times in the summer league, with his best trait being his long-range shot. And that scoring punch continuing into the NBA will be huge for the Hornets. Miller also showed an ability to playmake with multiple solid to good reads, and the passing showing up this early is a great sign for what is to come. You need buckets in this league, but when a player can also get their teammates involved and make plays for others, they reach a whole nother level. The biggest flaw that people highlighted for Miller all season long in Alabama was his struggles with finishing at the basket. Ideally, your 6'9" wing is a really strong finisher, and although he did get better as the season went on, his slashing ability continuing to improve will be imperative to his potential future stardom. Brandon Miller started his NBA journey getting booed at the draft by Charlotte fans, lacking aggression as a second pick, and racking up an insane amount of fouls. And although some are choosing to take a negative outlook on Miller, I think he has the potential to be really great one day. And his potential plus the Hornets' high-powered offense can make for a very bright future in Charlotte and can give them a chance to break out of the poor standing they have held for most of their franchise's life. Their season in 2022 did end in disappointment, where they were blown out in the play-in versus Atlanta, and getting their regular season offense to translate into the postseason will be the next step. But I do believe what they showed in 82 games before the play-in cannot be ignored, despite a disappointing ending. And this plus Brandon Miller's immediate three-point impact, as well as his offensive awareness with his capacity to become a very dangerous overall scorer in the league in the future, gives the Charlotte Hornets fans something to look forward to. Charlotte also just drafted Nick Smith Jr., who fell to the 27th pick after injuries during his freshman year at Arkansas, and he showed off his scoring ability in the summer league. Of course, as we talked about earlier, although they have shown an ability to score, their defense will have to improve if they ever want to win anything. But I do believe the team has their best shot at climbing the NBA ladder in a long time. But what do you think? Can the Hornets finally become something greater than a bottom dweller team? How good can Brandon Miller actually be? Thank you guys for watching. This has been Rashad with Hoops Times 2. Hit the subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.